You know why you're arresting this man for? He refused to apologize for his religious beliefs. Are you aware of
So
that?
guys, you guys are watching now. Everyone was watching now.
So you have become a
This is my
modern-day Nazi
husband.
right now.
My son is crying right now.
Beatings.
So this is the thought
Mark
police,
their
the feelings
faces.
police.
These
They want
are
to
the
enforce
people who is
compelled
arresting
speech
my
of
husband
apologizing.
for
I will not apologize.
apologizing.
Christians should never apologize.
Shannon, can you watch?
Angela Gatoy for Rebel News. This morning I was in court for Pastor Derek Reimer of Mission 7 Ministries, who was having a bail hearing after breaching his CSO order on 4 accounts. Those 4 counts are misusing time at court, a media interview he did with me here personally, which spanned about 3 minutes, and indirect contact with the complainant, Shannon Slater, and refusing to write an apology letter to, again, the complainant, Shannon Slater. Derek Reimer is being released upon bail if he signs off to the following conditions. No cash deposit of $5,000, must report to a probation officer within 2 business days of his release and thereafter, must reside at his home and not change that address without permission from the courts, no contact with any known participant of any Reading with Royalty, or which was private or public, no private or public LGBTQ event without permission of the probation officer, no contact indirectly or directly with the library manager, Shannon Slater. He is banned within 300 meters on days of scheduled Reading with Royalty programs and also the place of residence or worship of Shannon Slater. He is not permitted or owning or carrying a weapon, must not intentionally interfere with anyone trying to participate in any LGBTQ event, and he is banned, ladies and gentlemen, believe it or not, from using any electronic device to access social media. He is banned from social media. This is something we saw with Tamara Leach and Chris Barber, those who led the Freedom Convoy. Their speech was thereafter completely diminished online. All right, Andrew, fill us in. What happened in the courthouse today? What's going on?
Rebel's been covering this a bit. The last time I think you were here in this spot doing an interview with somebody related to the Derek Reimer case, I think that was Derek himself.
Yes.
So something interesting happened after the interview. It's been 3 years of constant legal battles, tooth and nail, every single time. The latest one is that they said that because he didn't go straight home after his court appearance, he said to talk to you for, I think it was 3 minutes after his last appearance, breaching his conditions, arrest him, put him away, and hold him until you get your bail spoken to. So that's what happened. We had to fight to get the bail even heard last Friday. It took quite a lot of sweat to get, and judge to even think about hearing the bail hearing at all, to possibly let him out. But that did get heard, and a number of arguments were brought up, including that bail is very frequently issued. One of the cases they cited, this is the case of Justice Moreau, who was in the Supreme Court of Canada now. This is the case where 4 police officers were murdered, and one of the suspects, one of the accused, was let out on bail in between. So again, bail is widely available. And in this case, it was available, but with a very particular condition. The bargain was, we'll let you out on bail, they said, only if you don't talk about this case. And that's a bit of a, I don't know if it's a catch-22 or what the right word for it is, but there's something a little bit funny about that I can't imagine he would be terribly comfortable with on one side or the other.
And when does this CSO expire?
That's another great question. In my view, the CSO should have been done. So the house arrest order that he was under an order, they call it jail in the community. It's a conditional sentence order. So they say, we're going to be very easy on you. We're not going to send you to jail. We'll have mercy on you. We'll send you to the house arrest. It was incredibly stringent house arrest. And in addition to that, the house arrest, they found all kinds of very specific ways to find that he breached the house arrest. The latest one being the second instance where they found that he breached the house arrest. And so, he's on these conditions, and he's accused of breaching them because, he stayed 5 minutes, and, if he stayed 5 minutes to use the washroom, you wonder if it'd be the same effect, but in this case, he stayed an extra 5 minutes to talk to Rebel News on his way out, and that was considered to be a breach of his conditions. And I brought that up on Friday. I didn't necessarily get addressed. The question, of course, being, is he being jailed for his opinions or his actions?
And lastly, a bit more of a technical question, but so he's not allowed to use any form of social media. What does that mean for his wife? Is she allowed to post, or like, where's the line here?
I don't know. The judge never really make that clear. I asked for some clarity on that question, and it seemed to be that maybe he's not supposed to talk about the case, but in what context? Obviously, he can talk to people about his case privately, presumably. If that ends up on social media, is he liable for that? I don't know. We would love to have had those answers, but those answers were actually in really short supply in the courtroom today. And he's in this limbo now, where he has no idea what he's allowed to say or not say. And so far, he's been finding out the hard way. Apparently, there's no easy way to find out answers to these questions other than get arrested and get locked up. And to answer your question, I can't answer your question, and I don't know who can.
And when can we expect Derek to actually be released?
Right now, he's in a tricky situation, I would say. Because he can be released, but he has to sign away quite a bit to get released. His house arrest can be extended if he accepts his release here. There's all kinds of downsides, I would suggest, through no fault of his own, that if he signs the release papers and agrees to, I'm not going to talk about my case, I'm not going to go on social media, I'm not going to post about it, any of this, he could get out today, but he could also have been out if he had said, you know what, I will apologize. I will recant. I will change my ways, and I will no longer have the opinions that I have. So, I suppose on paper, you could say, well, really, it's only his fault that he's still in jail. But if you look at if he's in jail for obeying his conscience, it's another question.
To see all of the updates and the previous reports from this case, and to also help Derek in his legal battles, head to savepastorderek.com, and that's where you can support him. As always, stay strong and stay free. For Rebel News, I'm Angelica Toy.